Test, test. It says it's on mute. Need to test. Testing. Testing audio test. And here we go. And here we are, Saturday night, first Saturday night after finals, playing against Mountain Vista. Played this team a couple of times in CPHL. This is that team with that one kid that scores about 75% of their goals, real good player, Carnisi. Another kid, Hitzig, scores the other 25%. Should be a good game. You let those kids turn loose, they can do some good stuff. They did okay in CPHL against a couple of good teams. But let's get back to the Valor Eagles. Win last night, some flashes of brilliance, although like a little bit of teamwork at times. A win's a win, though. Earlier today, did see that Creek played against PSD and tied them 1-1. So Creek seems to be rounding into form. Last time they played against PSD, PSD handled them 7-0. Lines are the same tonight. One minor change. Purchase line will be Bodine and Sutter. Canapari line will be Tarbert and Deep. The other line is still Fisher with the Charles boys, and Baker skating with Bevan and Sorensen. So I think that coach is still working the lines out, getting the optimal pairings, and the only thing that matters is when we get into the finals. Vista comes in 5-1, 6-1, I think, 5-1. One of their wins being a 17-0 victory over a team that I can't speak much about. I don't know who that was, but clearly a 4A or 3A team, I don't know. Anyway, the team that we do know about, they lost at East 5-3. A good win over Chap. So whatever the case, some really good players. Need to shut those two kids down and probably have a pretty good chance. We'll do what we usually do. Watch the warm-up. And we'll go off mic and we'll listen to the intros. Thanks again to John Baker on the video. One last game without the full Shaw setup. And then we'll be back in mid-season form. Next game is actually Saturday, January 3rd. I think there are some captains' practices and stuff over the break, but give the kids a chance to recharge and suntan in this nice Colorado weather we've been having. Clock ticks down, 8 seconds left in the warm-up. We'll put the pucks in the bags and go down to the PA. We are the visitor team again, with Mountain Vista being the home team. Again, thanks to John Baker on the video. and we'll give it a little pause, and we'll pick it back up here once the puck drops.
Against the Valor Eagles and your Vista Gold Eagles. The two teams involved in this contest are members of the Colorado High School Activities Association and are committed to sportsmanship goals of CHASA. As a reminder, fans, good sporting behavior is taking pride in your school, your team, and yourself. We ask that you adhere to the CHASA spectator rules and always show respect to other spectators, players, coaches, and referees. And now, the starters for the Eagles. At forward, number 27, Gabe Fisher. At center, number 21, Dawson Charles. At wing, number 23, Maddox Charles. Number 16, Roger Stanley. Number 6, Jack McKeown. And in net, number 39, Ryan Haftos. And now, your lineup for your Golden Eagles. At left wing, number 9, Brayden Robertson. At center, number 5, Logan Chang. At wing, number 8, CJ Sanchez. On defense, number 11, Zach Edwards. At defense, number 19, Matthew Strong. And your net minor for tonight, number 32, Fulton Witter. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem.
And JV is right after this.
Everything's on.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's the intros.
Maybe it's the Apple.
We're about to get this going. Gonna start it off with the Charles brothers. Whoops, sorry. Against this Mountain Vista team that, as mentioned, has a few really good players. I think the key to the game is shutting those kids down, and should be a pretty straightforward victory. Seems to be the Golden Eagles versus the Eagles. So Birds contest here. I think Heritage is the Eagles too. Here we go. Puck drops. Vista controls, sends it in. There's no ice there. That was close, actually. Pretty bad dump. Played by Stanley all kinds of time. No puck pressure there. Gabe winds it out, gets up to Maddox pretty easily. Goes past one pretty easily. Puck pops back out to top. Stanley chucks it back in. There's Maddox. Right in the slot is Dawson. Dawson shot. Oh, goes wide, but it goes off a boot. Doesn't make it all the way through. Good shot, though. Good pressure there. Just no puck pressure by the Mountain Vista there. That's sent all the way back down in. Goalie's going to play it. Fisher gives chase. There's Dawson on the other side. He gets interfered with. No call there on that. Maybe it was incidental contact there. McKiddo back to Maddox. He looks up, but there's Gabe. He'll take a shot on goal. That's wide. Go for a change. Gabe still working back behind the net. Bevan with some good puck pressure breaks it up. Gabe's at the end of his shift. Nothing there. That Bevan tries to get around the corner. Drops it in the boards for Hoyt. Hoyt's tied up in the corner. Vista's battling. Sent back around. Down low, Baker's now joined it. Full line changes out there now. Bevan back to Baker, tries to go around, can't get around one, but Mountain Vista's getting caught up down in their own corners. Sent down in, good battle, but that pops up to Joey. Goes to that extra toe drag. He might not have needed that. He could have just shot that, I think, but for whatever reason. And then a weak dump all the way down, but it gets the job done. They get some new troops onto the ice. So some really good pressure there. That was some good pressure by that line. And Baker had a good chance down there in front of the net. And for whatever reason, he tried a toe drag to give himself some more space. Now Purchase out there working with Bodine and Sutter. Sutter working with Bodine there. Something came off. Something's loose on somebody. Puck goes all the way back down again, and that's going to be another ice. And Mountain Vista leads the game right now with 2 ices before we're through with the first minute of the game. Sorry, first 2 minutes of the game. So we'll try that one again. Both teams having a little trouble assembling. Some good pressure by Valor. No real scoring chances yet, but some good pressure, good ozone pressure. Purchase in the circle. Draws one back, controlled by Vista. Dumped out again. That would be another icing. Gogol gets there, leaves it back there for O'Donnell. O'Donnell is Sutter. All the time in the world. No puck pressure on there. Sutter winds it through people, and that's what you've got to pass that puck. Instead, he tries to skate with it. That's gloved down by Havikant. 2 people skating, and Sutter goes for the stick handle there in the center of the ice. Tends to be your problem sometimes with the kids is the tendency to stick handle versus try and pass it. Easy to say up here as bodies collide. Now we're going to see a D-zone face-off, and looks like the good line's out there. The 2 kids that scored 95% of their goals. Let's see how they do now. McKiddo comes away with it. He's going to survey. He does get it out. It's dumped all the way back down in. Delayed offside. Stanley has it. He loses it. And more stick handling, but now here's, Canapari tries more stick handling again. McKiddo's going to regroup, and he chips it up off Deep's foot. Deep sends it over to the side. A little bit of loose play here on both teams, maybe. Popped up into the bench, but it's this first time we see those top 2 kids from Mountain Vista. 14-19 left in the first. We'll try it again with a neutral zone faceoff. Canapari wins that one back to McKiddo. McKiddo over to Stanley. Stanley up to Canapari, gets dumped in. The boys will give chase. I think this is probably the top line of Vista. Puck knocked down by McKiddo. Good work there. Big number 7 through the neutral zone. Now it's dumped in. Let's see how the boys can organize. There's number 18 as hits it. Gives his body to Stanley. McKiddo has some time, a lot of time. This is the difference between Vista and, say, a team like PSD is not real quick on the forecheck there. Shot in. That shot goes wide. Pips out. There's Tarbert. See if he can get it out. No, it's sent back down in the other side. So dumping just slow on the puck, regroups there, pops out again. That puck again gets deflected, doesn't make it through. Stanley gets there's all the time in the world again. Deep starts up, goes off the boards to himself, pretty easily corralled by Vista there. Now we got a line change with some speed. The Charles boys come back out. Coffey's going to regroup behind his own net. He'll survey. Pass right in the middle. Gabe, he can't collect it. Guy's got to be better collecting the passes. Dawson fishes out. He's working down in the corner. Comes all the way down. There's King. He intercepts. Vista winds around. Now see if they can get something assembled. They're going to dump it back down in the corner. Coffey gets there. He turns and fires. A little bit of a miss. Oh, my goodness gracious. That shot goes wide. There's Dawson. Tries another little nifty stick handle, which is dangerous. Pops out. Boys can't get it out of their zone. Come Vista. Tries to organize. Puck is loose. Backhanded up. There's Maddox with some speed. Can he get around this 19 with some strength? Oh, good play by that defender to break it up. Maddox usually wins those battles, but good work. Good work by that defenseman. Get some body from Gabe, too. Sent back down in. Again, good play by that Mountain Vista kid. That's sent all the way back down in, and that's iced. I thought that Maddox might be able to make that corner with some speed, but he couldn't quite outbody that kid. Good speed and sealing off that side there, so Maddox couldn't use his speed and strength to get around it. We'll try it again with the same line. Gabe out there still, draws in somebody's feed. Maddox comes out with it. He spins around, goes into Gabe. Gabe tries to tee it up, but he was tied up. Now here comes Vista going the other way. He's collided into by a couple of Eagles. Maddox dumps it down to Gogol. Gogol will play it off the boards to Dawson. He tries to chip it out, and he does. God, man, that Vista kid just let that go instead of being aggressive holding that line. Now Gogol over to O'Donnell. Good stretch pass. Baker boots it into the zone. Good job getting it deep. There's Bevan on the forecheck. Good strength there. Good speed to get there. Joe can't quite corral that one. Now see if Vista can organize it. High stick. They try and get around McKiddo. Good skater. McKiddo. O'Donnell's going to work it now. Bevan, he gets tripped down. No call there. It was incidental, but it still is a trip. It's a trip. There's McKiddo over to Sorensen. Let's see if he can break free. Gets through one. Oh, but then he blows a tire. Tries to backhand it up. Baker tries to play it out of the air. Maybe good job laying off of that one. Might have been a high stick. Now it's sent all the way back down, and that is another icing. And, man, Vista is loving those icing plays there. So some pretty good pressure by Valor. Nothing really to show for it, but pretty good job with the pressure. Few good scoring opportunities. Baker lines out there now. Draws one back to Bevan. It's in his feet. Steps on it a few times and swats it down into the corner. Now gives chase. Vista fans on the clearing attempt. You can see what's going on there. That Carnesi is kind of lurking back there. I remember that from the last time we played. The kid's fast. He's got some speed. See if he can get past that. He does get past Stanley pretty. Oh, no! Cool. And we saw that play last time we played them. Carnesi kind of cherry picks over there in the middle of the ice. So you got to always keep a spy on him. And then he did break free. Got past Stanley pretty easily with some pretty good speed. And just like that, Vista goes up. I think that's one shot, one goal. Gets past Stanley, shoots, and then puck popped out. Number 12, who literally celebrated like it was his first goal of high school career. But whatever the case, Valor's down 1-0 after really outplaying and dominating the D zone. Sutter gets stood up. Bodine comes through with some speed. Now these boys are seen battling. Bodine working back behind the net. Corrals it back, sends it back around the net. Somebody's got to be there, I guess, working. Now Bodine's back there working. Pass, good! Pass, centering pass. Back another shot, 2 shots, 3 shots, 4 shots. Another one pops out. Oh, boy, now the boys are too deep. Now they come back the other direction. Good back check there. That was a really good sequence. Bodine with a great centering pass. 2 shots at it. And now there's an ice on Valor's side, but some good work there by that line. Good centering pass to Sutter and 2 good saves by the goalie. And then 1 shot by Sutter, 2 shots by Purchase. Third shot by Coffey, but then he was in really deep with odd man rush going back the other direction. Fisher lines out there now, draws one back. Play, there's Gogo. He'll play it back to Maddox. Maddox looking for a stretch pass. Gabe's got some speed up to Dawson. Dawson will touch it into the zone. Kid will spin around, pops out. Oh, Dawson couldn't quite corral it. And now the puck's loose in the neutral zone, and now it's sent all the way back down, and that would be an ice too. And it's waved off. That's a bad call by the ref. He didn't see that, but that was definitely an icing there. Maddox plays it up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell cross-ice pass, and man, these Vista kids live those open. I remember that from CPHL. Sent Dak back down into the corner. Kids are battling along the sides there. Gabe with some good effort. Nobody sees where the puck is, and then it's finally rimmed all the way back down. Gogo leaves his position, goes up to chase it down. 9:26 left in the period. Gabe fishes it out, and he has plenty of time. They try to scoop it out. Maddox gives some body, and the ref helps out with the blocking of the puck. Comes back out to Maddox. He's going to go 1-on-4. Nope, he's going to spin it back around, wait for a new line to come on. Maddox stick handles through 1-2, then he's going to dump it in. Canapari gives chase. Canapari line comes out there, and that will be another ice. No, it will be an ice. Okay, so some action there. And again, Valor really dominating in the offensive pressure. See if I can pull up some stats here. Well, the stats say 3 shots to 3 shots. And that goal by Jackson Mayorga from Vista is the difference maker right now. But now here goes Vista the other direction. Gets past Stanley. Stanley tries to body pass. Gets past Stanley again. That puck was loose again. Another loose play there. Stanley's really usually pretty good on those edge plays. Good strength and good skating. Good work there by Deep to wind around one. Deep brings it into the zone. He's going to go wide. Tried to square it up for a center. Goes back out to Tarbert. He fans on it. Now here goes Vista the other direction. Stanley's back again. He plays that one properly. Just softly touches it off the boards. Canapari takes some body. Vista will dump it all the way out. There's Canapari on the body too. Now here we're going the other direction. Fish down in. Havikos will play it back behind the goal. Sweeps it back to McKiddo, and he's looking for a stretch pass. He loses control of it. I didn't see what happened on there. Cross-ice pass, and nobody is there but Bevan. Bevan backhands it up to Sorensen. Now they got 2-on-5. They're waiting for their troops. Sorensen tries to get it in deep, but he misses on that one. And now we're going the other direction. That same Carnesi with some speed. Goal. And that's 2-0. Valor's down, and you can see what happens with this Carnesi, number 10, fast skater. Makes that save move. Havikos overcommits, and it's a pretty easy goal for Carnesi. So Valor down 2-0 to Vista. You can definitely see what happens. Comes up, see if Bodine can get there. Bodine does get there, and does get a shot off. No penalty call. That was a little bit of a surprise. Still no penalty called there. Refs are just watching that go. I'm not so sure what happened there. No, maybe he did call a penalty. Says take a seat. That's not necessary. Bodine draws a penalty. And it looks like the boys might get on the power play now, which good job by Bodine keeping his composure. Good work there, too. Maybe this line's gelling again. Let's see if they can put something together and narrow this gap. Down 2-0 to this squad at this point. It's embarrassing, quite frankly. Sorensen wins a draw. Back to Maddox. Dawson, big shot, doesn't connect. A little bit of pretty good puck movement there. Let's see him work. Maddox works from his office. Back out to Hoyt. Hoyt, a screenshot. Goal! good work by Hoyt Sorensen. That was a screen shot. There was 3 or 4 people in front of the goalie. Goalie never saw that shot, so good shot by Hoyt. And they cut the deficit from 2-1, so it's a power play goal, probably Maddox to Hoyt. Hoyt's on the board. It's a pretty good puck movement. I think Hoyt saw that goalie was nowhere to be seen. So Hoyt took advantage of that and shot and scored. So 2-1. Let me update the scoreboard there. Apologies for that. Will be better. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm not so sure what just happened there. Gogo with a clearing attempt passed it directly to the kid from Vista, and that was a soft shot that Habakkos would get 90% of the time, and Habakkos is getting pulled, and Jordan's entering the game. And that was certainly questionable there. Very soft goal. That's 3 goals on 5 shots. Overcommitted on a couple of those breakaways, and now we'll try the purchase line. This line's been working hard. Sutter fiddles around with the boards. Purchase brings it in, tries to get it up to Bodine. Intercepted. Stanley will play it. He's going to dump it back in. The boys are going to give chase. Purchase is on the forecheck. Puck's a little bit out of the hands. Stanley has got to look and make that pass. Intercepted Bodine. He can't get it out of his feet. Sutter can't get it out of his feet. And everyone, I'm not so sure what the call there was. The puck was touched outside of the zone. I don't think that was ever offside, so I'm not so sure about that call. Whatever the case, 6:36 left in the first period. Valor's down 3-1. 3 pretty soft goals. Habakkos is usually so sharp, but whatever the case, sure he wants those back. Typically can bounce back from those, but try Jordan in net, draws one back by Mountain Vista. They try and clear right into Dawson. Dawson, oh, good last-second stick lift on Maddox, and that breaks that play up. McKiddo seam pass there to Fisher. There's Maddox again. Tries to go low, save, doesn't quite get all the wood on that one. And now here comes Vista going the other direction. McKiddo's back, winds it back down into the corner. Yeah, Hitzig tries to stick handle through. That doesn't work. And then Baker passes. No, sorry. That's Stanley passes it directly to the Vista kid. Oh, my goodness gracious. Some just fundamentals here. The passes aren't connecting. Breakout passes. You've got to be sharp on these. Stanley might look a little bit off. Maddox bodies that kid. Puck winds it out. Now we're going the other direction. Odd man. That kid is 3 strides off sides. He was too excited about scoring his first goal of his high school career, so gets in 4 strides off sides, looking for number 2. That wasn't even close. Baker line out there now, but again, the Valor Eagles give up another odd man rush that if that kid would have stayed on sides, it would have been back to Carnesi. Hoyt gets past one, tries to squeeze through on the boards. He can't squeeze through. The passing usually works better to get it into the zone. Puck is popped out. Coffey tries to body him out. Hoyt, he gets jostled around with Carnesi, makes some more space. Good save by Jordan. Oh my goodness gracious, and Bevan can't control that pass, and it's right on his stick. The fundamentals here are just off. Baker, he tried good work there on a protect and outlet pass to Bevan. He makes the center line and dumps it in. That's got to go deeper than that. And now going the other direction, Tarbert sends it all the way back down in, and that's an ice. So you can see how Mountain Vista does pretty well in these games. Carnesi, number 10, very smart player, and cherry picks, gets back behind the D, and with that speed, that leads to a lot of goals. Pretty good player, really good player. Canapari takes some body. O'Donnell dumps it from deep, but it's outside of his grasp. Deep can't get it. Now here goes Vista going the other direction. Puck pucks right out to the middle. Gogol gives some body out front. Good shot there. And Mountain Vista is putting it on Valor. 4-1. 4:40 left in the first period. Very sloppy play again in their own zone. Bad turnover again. Now we'll try the purchase line again. Mountain Vista is going to try and work it the other direction. Kid fumbles the puck, sends it all the way down in. Played by Jordan. He's going to leave it for O'Donnell. Spins around, sends it up to Bodine. He chips it back out to the Vista kid, and that goes wide. Sutter tied up on the boards. O'Donnell provides some support. Loses the puck and just panics, sends it into the boards. Pops out to the middle. Puck is loose again. Nobody can corral this, sent back down in. Played by Gogol. He trips trying to get to the puck. Pass to Sutter. Sutter to Bodine. Bodine makes it. Shot tries to go wide. Pretty good shot, but a pretty easy pad save by that goalie. Stanley has to wait. Pitches it back to McKiddo. Pretty good play there. McKiddo's going to dump it in. 3:41 left in the game. Sorry, in the first period. Puck caught up in the neutral zone. Maddox makes the zone pretty easily. He comes in. Pass to Dawson. Dawson takes an extra second. He's got to get that shot off earlier. Gave the time for that goalie to get set up in front. Good keep by McKiddo. Several slashes and no call there. That's crazy. Gabe puts it back down in. Dawson gets tied up and then dumped. Refs are definitely letting this one go a little looser than we've seen in the past in some of these Chassa games. Stanley passes over to McKiddo. McKiddo hard pass to Maddox. He's going to make the neutral zone. Goes around one pretty easily. 1-on-3. Makes a pass. 1, 2. Shot save right into the center of that goalie. Puck pops out, and here goes Vista the other direction. He's sealed down pretty easily. Oh, and they're going to call a penalty on that. Unnecessarily. Dawson takes a penalty. The kid had no speed and no reinforcements, and for some reason Dawson hauls him down. So 4-1, they're down 4-1, and Mountain Vista goes on the power play. This power play has been pretty good. It's run by Carnesi. Carnesi, number 10, working with Hitzig, number 18. Typically they play catch back and forth, and Carnesi finds a seam, but we'll see how this one works. Baker's out there with Bevan. Draws one back, can't quite get it out of the zone. Now here they go. Mountain Vista assembles it up top. Shot, and that is a terrible choice there. Sends it back up to the point, and a one-timer from the point. It's a slap shot up probably 10 feet over the net. Burns off some time off the clock. 1:51 left in the penalty. 2:32 left in the first period. The ref didn't like something there, so he's going to call him out of the box. Baker in the face-off circle. Draws one back to O'Donnell. He turns and tries to get it out again. Can't get it out past that number 19. And now let's see if Mountain Vista can set it up. They work the umbrella. Back up top to Carnesi. Carnesi to Hitzig. Toe drag. Oh, that puck was loose. And then that is corralled and sent all the way back down. Goalie's going to play it. Pretty good save there, but a good screen, a good puck movement. Hoyt's out there. Puck is left. That's Maddox now working with Hoyt. Hitzing gets through one, gets through two. Saved by Jordan. That looks familiar. Valor's been known to do that, bring the puck all the way in themselves, which is what Hitzig did versus waiting for the troops to set up. 1:56 left, first period, 1:15 left. Fisher's working out there with Sutter, it looks like, draws one back. No, Fisher's working with Maddox, and now Hoyt joins Maddox. Tied up by McKiddo. Down in the corner, comes out to Stanley. He can't get it out. Good pressure there by Maddox at the point. That's a little bit better, a little more. Oh, good stick by that Vista kid to break it up. They leave it for Hoyt. If anything, he can burn some time off. 40 seconds left on the power play. Sends it all the way back down. 1:20 left in the period. 39 seconds left in the power play. So at least one more rush now for these kids. Vista makes the zone, dumps it all the way down into the corner. Stanley gets there. He works it into the corner. Good support from Baker. Baker chips it all the way out down into the corner there. 20 seconds left. Maybe one last rush for the Mountain Vista boys here. Bevins on the forecheck. A little bit of pressure. 10 seconds left. One last time. Here comes Carnesi with some speed. Makes it around O'Donnell pretty easily. Turns and fires it back. Centering save by Jordan. Puck has just dropped down. Good job by McKiddo to play that puck. It's tied up. Penalty's over. 30 seconds left. Hitzig tries to get it into the front. Now the boys are playing 5-on-5. Puck pops out. Bevin tries to get it out. He can't get it out. Baker tries to fish it out. He gets tied up, sends it into the neutral zone. 23 seconds left. Baker fishes it out. 19 seconds. He makes the zone. See if he can get a pass off. He gets bodied off of that pretty easily. Bodine tries to get one. He couldn't quite center it to Sutter. 10 seconds. A lot of body in front. Fisher, good job by Sutter to fish it out. Can he center it? It's got to get one on net. Shoot it, shoot it. Oh, good play by Vista to try and tie him up. Good body, good stick work by Sutter, but as it is, that is a 4-1 deficit. Some sloppy play and giving up some pretty loose goals. Certainly some stuff to talk about. That's 4 goals on 10 shots. So this is high school hockey. We've seen a lot of this last season. I think they got down 4-1, 5-1 against a team like Vista. The thing about Vista is very lazy on some defensive plays too. So I think they're going to organize. I think this is going to be a close game. They're going to make it up in the second. So we'll give it a zam, wait about 10 minutes, and be back with you in about 10 minutes. And we are back. 4-1 deficit starting the second period. So let's see what kind of conversations they had with the boys in the locker room. Draws one back, played by McKiddo. He's going to make the center line and try and dump it in. Ice is always a little bit bad coming fresh out of the Zam, unfortunately, but the puck's rimmed around, kept in. Oh, no, not kept in. Now Vista's going the other direction. Stanley gets to it, fishes it out to McKiddo. McKiddo goes wide to Maddox to see if he can make some space. Nope, he shoots right off of the boot. That might have been that Zach Edwards. Big defender, left in. There's Maddox working right in front. Winds around, regroups, looking for a pass. There's Stanley. Score! Stanley's given all the time and waltzes in. And that makes up for that defensive play that he was a little bit soft on Carnesi earlier. And that's another goal for the Eagles. And they cut the deficit 4-2, less than a minute in. So let's see if they can keep that momentum. Baker lines out there now. Draws one by Vista. They send it in. Gogol intercepts, but he does get it out. Hoyt battles with Carnesi, and good stick lift by Baker. See if he can go the other direction. 3-on-3, Baker goes wide, dumps it in the corner. Sorensen goes all the way around for Bevan. Bevan misplays it directly to Mountain Vista. And now here goes, good work by Baker to break that up. Stick just put him off base just enough. Puck left back behind Evan. Bevan, good work, good look by Hoyt. You saw what he was trying to do. Couldn't quite get it through. Fished out, Baker, good job closing on it, but it's fished out by Hitzig. Back to Baker, though. Now Hitzig lifts it up and drops it all the way back down. And that will be an ice. Good work by the boys. They came out with some energy here. 1.5 minutes burned off the clock here. 4-2 Vista. Purchase line out there now. This line's had a couple of good bouts of energy. See if they can keep that up. Good work there by back to Bodine. Shot off the post. Good shot, but off the post. You need to bury that one. The goalie was out of position. Back to Sutter. Sutter working in the corner. Vista comes away with it. Good work by Purchase to keep it in. The boys keep fighting for it. Sutter comes out with it. Centering pass doesn't connect. King flips it back in. Perch has some time. Looking to pass to Bodine. Oh, no. He can't tee it up on his stick. Puck's loose. Banging, banging. Bodine goes into the net, and that's another golden opportunity for Bodine. Puck is on his stick, and at this level in hockey, when the puck is on your stick, you have got to control the puck. 15:01 left, second period. Good energy by that line, too. Good couple shots. Bodine with the shot off the wide edge of the post. Canapari out there. Clean win to Stanley looking for number 2. Dumped it down to deep. Canapari slow to get up. Hopefully he's okay. Tries to get it back to deep. Good pass there by Tarbert. Now here's Vista going the other direction. Intercepted pretty easily deep on the back checks. Fished all the way back around. Played off the board. Canapari gets in the way of that, so it looks like he's okay. Fished out by McKiddo, but nobody's moving. McKiddo passes it directly to Mountain Vista. All the Valor kids were just stagnant. Stanley bodies the kid up to Canapari. They get it out a little bit. There's Canapari working still. Gets it up to McKiddo. McKiddo's got 3 kids. Tarbert a little bit late on the forecheck. He finally gets there, ties the kid up on the boards. He's working at it. Gabe joins the fray. There's a penalty. The boys will go back on the power play. Fisher dumps it down into the corner. Maybe I wanted the right assortment of kids out there, I suppose. 14:03 left, and now we're going to see the PP1 unit back out there. They were successful on that last one. Hoyt took a shot from pretty high up on the circle, but looking closer at that, it was a good screen, and that goalie never saw it. So Hoyt just had a little space, and he found that face. 14:03 left, second period. Draws one back, pitched up to himself. Hoyt with some good speed, misplayed. Fortunately, that wasn't that Carnesi kid who has all kinds of speed. Fished out, saved by Jordan. What on earth is going on here? All right, now we'll start it up. Good work by that number 9. And again, fortunate that wasn't Carnesi. Maddox with some speed, and he gets poke checked pretty easily. 9's a one-man wrecking crew. Maddox going to try it again. He makes the zone, goes up the side, see if they can set it up. Winds all the way back around. Now they've got it set up. Over to Hoyt. He doesn't connect. Fishes it down to Bodine. Bodine back up to Hoyt. To Maddox. Puck's bouncing loose. Nobody could see it. Questionable shot again. You want to get a little bit closer. They're caught in a change. Maddox, see if he can use the speed to do something with it. No. Sent up to Dawson. Oh no, goes off Gabe's feet. Now they're going the other direction. That number 13 has some speed. Shot goes way wide. Now to Dawson. Could be an odd man rush. Dawson gets past one. He's with Maddox. Maddox makes his own 1-on-3. He gets poke checked relatively easily. Pops out to Baker. Baker, they're calling for, oh my goodness, Baker gets unloaded on. He never looked up. He was trying to stick handle through the whole team. Okay, set it up, guys. Maddox finishes around. He gets bodied up. Baker tries to get it set up. What happened to the passing? Stanley, let's see if he can get it set up. There, it's calmed down. McKitto, cross-ice pass. Up deep. McKitto, dancing. Deep. 16 seconds left to Stanley. No angle there. He shoots it directly into the knee guards of the player. Stanley gives it another attempt. 7 seconds left. Big, hard shot. That doesn't make it through. Stanley, good poke check to keep it in, but that is another power play that was powerless. A little bit better with that second unit. McKitto off the boards. Sends it off the boards. Baker tries to dump it in. Now Carnesi makes the zone. Pass intercepted by McKitto, kept in by Mountain Vista. Baker working down in the corner. McKitto gets there. Getting menaced by Carnesi. Hard pass intercepted there. Sutter still working. He makes his own. Stick handles it over to deep. They're still trying to stick handle through every kid on the team. Now pops out. Here goes Mountain Vista. Number 12 scored one of the goals. Good stick by O'Donnell to break it up. Deep intercepts. Baker goes back the other direction. Winds it out to the middle, right to the Mountain Vista kid. Gogol tries to hit. It's a good thing he didn't connect with that. That would have been a boarding call. Gogol winds around one. Sutter's not ready. He takes a hit, tries that move again off of the boards, and that doesn't work. Now it's sent all the way back down in. O'Donnell regroups. 11 minutes left, second period. On their heels now are the Eagles. Here comes Deep with some speed, but he's got no support down into the corner by himself. Wholesale change. Purchase line comes onto the ice. Good work by Gogol. Sort of caught no man's out. Up to Purchase. Purchase one-on-one. Purchase shot goes wide. Good work there by Purchase. That shot just a little bit wide. Dumped out in by Mountain Vista. Jordan leaves it for King. Up to Tarbert. Tarbert with some time, and he dumps it off the boards down in for an ice. Ay, ay, ay. (4-2) Vista. No goals yet. 10:22 left, second period. Valor wasn't really ever quite able to set that power play up. Power play still doesn't look quite as sharp as it did last year. Draw one by Mountain Vista. Puck good. Screen shot. Jordan never saw that. Fortunately, was blocked before it made it to the net. A lot of congestion in front of the net, and the boys need to do a good job of clearing that out. You can't leave the screen in place like that. Fish steps back into the face-off circle. Wins the draw to Stanley. Puck is loose. pops back up top. Fan job, big hard fan job. Puck goes over the top of the net. Holy moly. Puck is loose, fished out by Mountain Vista. Every Valor kid is back in that corner. Mountain Vista with some good, hard, aggressive play here. They come out, and that's passed directly to Maddox. I see that on the other side of the ice. Vista is looking like they're on a 5-on-3. Good body by Maddox. He's seen enough. They got to get this puck out of there. This is unbelievable. Dawson tries to fish it up, can't get it up to Maddox. Maddox was ready to break. 2 more guys going to the boards. Finally fished. He can't. No, he does get it out. Holy cow. Oh, Maddox overskates it just a little bit. Maddox waiting for it. Man, that's a good hard chip by those Vista kids. Puck gets left there. Stanley runs into a kid. No call. Puck is on the boards. 9:13 left, second period. Oh, my goodness gracious. Pass airborne to Dawson. These kids have been on the ice for 5 minutes. You got to get some new, fresh troops out there, and that they do. Baker line's out there now. Vista makes it past King. 2 kids blow tires. Puck gets intercepted by Baker. He's got some speed. Goes to Hoyt. Hoyt up the side. He's got his forwards with him. Fleck goes to the middle and shoots inexplicably high and wide with 2 trailers with him. Baker comes out with him. Good body. Tries to centering. Wrong side of the stick. King shot deflected. Goes wide. Working down the corner is Baker now. Good support from Hoyt. Hoyt's still working. He comes out with it. Centering pass. There's Bevan. He can't get it. He does get a shot off. Wow, boys look like they're on a 5-on-4 here. They can't get the puck out of the net. Bevan, good keep. Down to Sorensen. He comes out. Sharp angle. Doesn't have it. He gets hauled down in front of the net. Ref doesn't even call that. And the ref is watching that play. Goodness gracious. Good hard work by that line, but you'd think there'd be a call there. .8:14 left, second period. The boys came out and put one on the board real quick. And that's all they've seen so far. Purchase line's out there now. Again, he's working with Bodine and Sutter. Bodine ties that kid up, gets some support from Perch. No, that's Sutter, fishes it out, shot! Score! What? They called that one off. Bodine's going there. He looked and he saw that goal in the back of the net. He's tapped it in himself. He's asking the ref. He tapped it in. That is unbelievable. There's been some questionable play here. That is unbelievable that goal is called off. The ref is sitting there. Holy cow. Bodine was there back behind the net and was looking at the puck that was in the white paint. But now here comes Vista. Good attempted to go. Maddox says no. He winds back around with it. They got to make him pay for this. Maddox dumps it to Gogol. Shot good. Saved by that goalie. Kicked that leg out just in time. Back down into Dawson. He's working back behind the net. Oh, he wanted to play with that high stick, did Gabe. Maddox bodies Carnesi off relatively easy. Big size difference there. Gogol up just out of the outstretched stick of Dawson. Stretch pass doesn't connect. Off of Gabe's boot. Carnesi with the speed. Shot. Wow, good shot. He tried to go 5-hole. Jordan, I didn't think that kid would get that shot off. A good, quick shot. Jordan had to make that save. I'll circle back to that last goal. I'm not sure what happened there. So Bodine was right behind the goal, celebrating, looking at it. So the ref was back there too. We don't have the goal cams, unfortunately, but draws one by Mountain Vista, and they can't work the D-to-D passes. Bodine goes wide, doesn't have the support from Sutter on the other side. The puck pops out. Good stick by Stanley. McKiddle's bodied off of it. Puck goes back behind the net. Bodine gets there. He backhands it up. Pretty good pass to Purchase. Purchase, good chip up to Sutter. Can he make it up there, Sutter? But he needs some support. Sutter gets some support. Bodine comes in to help, and he just topples over the pile. Back out to Stanley. Now it's going the other direction. That's a questionable pass there by the oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Misplayed there. Sutter's got to look up. Purchase looks up, fishes it up to Bodine. Oh my goodness gracious. Almost another terrible goal. Kept in by Sutter. Oh, tries to pass it out. Oh, and King's not holding the blue line. Goes cross ice to Stanley with the lone goal this period. Dumps it in deep on the rush. 6:11 left in the second period. Good work there back behind the net as Canapari deep fishes it out, looking for a pass, turns and fires way wide. Canapari tries to spin one up, and that's just pitchfork all the way back down, and that will be an ice. Holy cow. .555 left, second period. You'd like to see the boys close the gap just a little bit more. Canapari's been good in the faceoff circle. Control doesn't win it, but it's controlled. Good work by Canapari back behind the net, but Vista's on the charge now. Good breakout now. Shot sticks wide by Jordan. Puck is loose, bounces. Shot, screen shot. Jordan seizes the last second. Both goalies seem a little late to pick up the pucks for some reason today. Not sure what's going on, but I don't know if that was a screen shot or what, but 5:34 left, second period. Baker line's back out there. Draws one back by Mountain Vista. Nobody's on the forecheck to shut that kid down. Shot doesn't make it through Bevan. Bevan with some time flips it up to Sorensen. That connects. 4 kids from Vista are back. Dumped in by Sorensen. Baker's on the good energy by Baker to get there. Bevan with some support, looking for somebody to pass to. He's going to wheel it all the way back around to Sorensen. Oh, Sorensen turns and sends it all the way back down in the corner. Bevan tries to play a little bit late, and the angling was slightly off. Hard play, though. Here comes Mountain Vista. They're able to dump it all the way back out to... Yeah, that's a hand pass by that kid, and that should go all the way back down for another Ozone face-off. So 4:53, we'll get the Charles duo out there, and let's see if they can put another one on the board. Sure would be nice to notch this one back up going into the third period with an even game. First things first, 4:53 left, second period. Looks like Vista is missing a kid. I'm not so sure why they're waiting. They should just drop the puck. I'm not so sure why they're waiting for him. Giving him a little bit of a benefit there. One draws one back. Gogo tries to slap it in. He can't get it in. This is definitely a line mismatch here, and this Vista kid's here. He's hauled down, no call. Vista's got to get some different kids on here. Shot goes up into the board. See if they can start the breakout. There's Gabe. He's going to dump it in. Doesn't get it deep enough. He's on the chase. D-to-D pass, and they get it out of there pretty easily. Puck broken up by Dawson. Now it's just sent back in by Vista. Puck is left back there. Gogol didn't want it. He takes a, no urgency. Turned and fired in by Hitzig. Gogol gets another chance, and now he just sends it directly into Maddox's back. O'Donnell, he tries to get it to Maddox too. Maddox with it now with some speed through the neutral zone. He's working on Carnesi. Gets past him easily. Spins around, goes around. Carnesi centering past is Dawson. Score! That puck was loose again, and there goes Gabe and bangs it in and breaks his stick in the process. Good shot by Dawson from the slot. And there's Gabe. That puck was sitting on the doorstep, and Gabe made sure the ref didn't call that one off. 4-3, 3:48. And Valor has brought it within one. Baker line out there now. Draws one back to McKiddo. Good work. Oh, no. That is just sent all the way back down in, and that will be an ice. Now we'll have an ozone face-off. 3:38 left, second period. Good work there. Good work by Maddox on that play. He stopped, he pulled up, and Dawson was right in the slot. Good hard shot. Goalie got 90% of it, but that other 10% let it flutter over his back, and Gabe banged it in, broke his stick, and spent $400 in the process. All for the team. Baker wins it. Back up to Sorensen. Aye, that shot's way wide. There's McKiddo to play it. Corral it. He dances around on the blue line, goes back to Hoyt. Shot. I think Stanley scored from a similar spot earlier. Tries it again. 3:22 left, second period. Baker line stays out there. Looks like Vista brings their top kids out there. Good work by Hoyt. Good stick battle there. Bevan's working down the corner. He gets tied up. Hoyt with some support. Fishes it back up top to Stanley. Stanley's shot doesn't make it through. Goes off Baker and goes wide. And there's Carnesi definitely cheating back towards the end. Working that cherry pick cheat, which is actually a pretty good play. McKiddo's going to dump it in, but nobody's there on the chase. Hoyt ties him up. Baker comes with some support. Puck spits out behind the net. Now Vista's trying to chase. Shot goes wide. Sutter just turns and fires it all the way down the ice. Gives a chance to get some new kids on the ice. 2:35 left, second period. Let's see if they can put a charge together. We'll get the Charles boys out there with Gabe. Some good speed. Could be a line mismatch here too. Oh, good work there. Good work by O'Donnell. Chips it up to himself, gets sealed off. Puck is dumped in though. There's Dawson on the chase, winded back around, 2:26 left. Dawson's on the chase, and that one gets fished all the way back down, and they will call that an ice, so an ozone face-off, so pretty good outcome from that. Good work by O'Donnell to really work hard along the boards there. Get it down deep. All right, 2:19 left, second period. Puck is tied up in the skates, fished out by Fish. Gogol sends it back down in, played by Dawson up to Maddox. Leaves it for Gogol, back to Maddox. Dawson takes his time, leaves it back for Maddox. Maddox works around, good strength there to just have his way. Looking for a pass up to O'Donnell. Oh no, O'Donnell winds at the top. Cross ice to Gogol, wrong side. Oh no, Gogol gets sent off that puck. Keeps it in. Now they pass it off the back. 1:40 left. Gogol's going to try and get it in. He does get it in. Takes a face, eats the boards there. 1:30 left on the play. They try to pass. Gogol intercepts. Has to wait for the boys to get on side. They touch up. These boys are at the tail end of the shift. They're beat. That chain doesn't make it. Maddox goes around one. Good work. Down low to Dawson. Dawson. Oh, good work there. Good play there. Dawson with that good. Tried to do that backhand centering pass. 1:12 left, second period. Should have another face-off down low. Purchase out there with Bodine and Sutter. This line's had some good shifts. They're due for a goal. fact, they had a goal called off last time, and maybe they can get one called in this time. Puck pops out, kept in. Vista keeps it in. Uh-oh. They're going the other direction. They're going to have to reset. Vista gets it in. Stanley pushes him down. Good work by Stanley. Keegan drops underneath that one. Still working down Sutter with the support. Sutter fishes it out. 48 seconds left. They got to get a rush together. Comes out to Bodine. Good outlet pass to Sutter. Now the boys are on the rush with some numbers. Ay, 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 ay. And Sutter comes offside. Purchase needs to go straight into the zone. He took a slide out to the right, and that just broke up the timing just slightly. Because of that, Sutter goes in offside. 39 seconds left. The boys could have had numbers, and they had some speed going too. Baker lines out there now. Draws one over to Hoyt. 36 seconds, makes the zone easily, kicks it up to himself. Boys are in front, camped out, shot. Oh, Bevan couldn't get it teed up. Fished out by Vista, 25 seconds left. O'Donnell, Vista's looking at the clock, trying to get it to run out. Chipped out. Vista gets to it there, and they're going to send it all the way back down, and that will be an icing. So one more Ozone faceoff with 14 seconds left in the second period. 14 seconds to try and tie this one up. See if Baker, he's got that little move here where he kind of wins a draw up to himself. Wins it to himself, then centering past to Hoyt. Let's see if he tries that now. Nope. Wins it back to Bevan. To O'Donnell. O'Donnell hard pass. Oh, Bevan. Oh, he can't tee it up. It's in front. Oh, no. Goodness gracious. Good save by that goalie. Baker got good wood on it, but it's sent down. Couldn't quite tell what happened, but that play was exactly what you wanted. Going back to the production trailer and wondering if that was a save or if Baker just didn't hit that one like he wanted to. 0.7 seconds left, so there's not really enough time to really do anything, but the boys will go into the locker room with a 1-goal deficit, which is better than a 3-goal deficit. So they have another period like that. They win the game 6-4. As it is, we'll take a 15-minute break, and we'll be back with you for the third period and see if these Valor Eagles can close the gap. And we're back to the third period. Boys are down 1, and they come out. Hopefully they got a good talking to, good game plan going here into the second period. We'll do a much better job of updating the scoreboard. It's a manual process, and sometimes we get a little excited or disappointed, and so we don't go quick enough to the scoreboard. Anyway, Stanley working back behind his own zone. Dawson gets pushed off that puck pretty easily. Good stick by Stanley to break it out. Sent all the way back down in. Played by Jordan back behind the net. Left, and no one's there to take it. Kiddo takes some body, though. Uh-oh. Puck's loose in front. Now comes out. Here's the Charles brothers. They're working 2-on-3. Even matchup. Shot, and that's deflected. Tried to go through the legs of that kid. Doesn't come in. Now Maddox is still working back behind the net. Played back down. Good work by Gogol to glove that down. Sent all the way back down in. Puck goes all the way back around. There's Baker working. He needs his support. Bevan comes in, applies some pressure. Good stick by there. Hoyt joins. Comes just out. O'Donnell's going to have to regroup. He winds around one. He makes a zone. Runs into a body. He keeps it in. Good work. Shot goes wide. Good shot. Baker's there on the chase, and that puck does not get back behind. Good stick. Good play by Gogol to break that up. Baker goes wide. Dumps, leaves it for Hoyt. Shot! Score! Good pass from Baker to Bevan. I think he fumbled it a bit, or maybe that was Hoyt, but Bevan comes out with a goal, and the boys have tied it up. Minute and a half into this third period. Good work by Baker to start that play. He goes down deep, makes a good move, centers it to Hoyt. Good shot by Hoyt in close. Deep, the goalie made a save, kicks out, and Bevan bangs it in. No question that was in. 4-4, who's going to break this tie? Purchase line's out there now, draws one back. Coffey up to King. King off the board, sends it in. Sutter and Bodine chase, sent all the way back in. That's going to be an ice. And why would they call that off when the guy didn't play it by the midline? Coffey fishes up to Bodine. Chips it up to Sutter. He's on the rush now. He's got Purchase with him. Sutter's wide. Oh, he can't tee it up. Puck must be stuck. Sends it back around. Down low to Sutter. That back to Purchase that was. And Vista's a little bit on their heels now. They're going to send it up. Coffey gets there. Goes back behind him. A little bit of a funky bounce. Coffey circles all the way back around. Backhands it to Bodine. Bodine with some speed. He's going to dump it in. Spin off for a change. Vista plays. Wholesale change going on here. Canapari gives chase. 4-4. 14:30 left off of Canapari. To Coffey. Coffey just turns and fires it into the glove. Vista, good glove by that kid to glove it down, actually. Deep battling along the boards. Fished out. Coffey dumps that. Good play by Kane there to dump that kid. It's tied up along the board. Ooh, good. Oh, I saw what Tarbert was looking at. He tried to get it there. King fishes it out to the middle. Vista's going to have to regroup. Deep's now on the forecheck. Vista rims it all the way back around. Angling slightly off by Canapari. Puck goes all the way back out, but now it's back in. Fanned on it. Good work by Tarbert in. This is that sticky ice when you come off of the change. Now Vista just turned and panicked and sent it all the way back down in, and that will be an ice. 13:44 left in the third period, and we have ourselves a tie ball game now. Got to apply the pressure. Good puck movement and good unselfish play. Here's what you want. Make that extra pass. You don't need to do it yourself. Gabe chips it up to himself, going for that little set play. Comes out to Gabe. Now Maddox is working back behind the net. He tries to send it all the way back down, but that doesn't work. It's sent all the way back out. See if Vista can organize. Can't get it past McKiddo. McKiddo's going to work all the way back in. He's deep. There's Dawson. Oh, no, he can't get it out. Gets it out. It's out. D-to-D pass there in their own zone. Sent back around. D's going to play catch. Good work by Maddox, blocking that kid off from behind the net. Dawson gets there first. Good body there. He's got some space. Stutter step. Dumps it in. No, it doesn't get it in deep, and now it's going the other direction. O'Donnell gets there. He leaves it for Stanley. Stanley to Maddox. Seems like these boys have been out there for a while. Pass up to Fish. Fish tries to get it up to O'Donnell. O'Donnell's cheated in. Up to Maddox. Kicks out. Cross ice pass back to O'Donnell. See if he can get one on net. One deep. Oh, deflection just wide. Maddox tries a backhand. Maybe a bank shot off somebody. Oh, no. Gogol dumps it in and then gets sent head first into the board. That's by Carnesi, and that could have been a penalty, I think, there. Baker line back out there, 12:33, score tied 4-4. Hoyt gets bodied off that one. Now they're going the other direction. No, they're not. O'Donnell, good job intersecting it. Carnesi had some speed there, and that's going to be an ice. Go back all the way down for a D-zone faceoff. .24 left, tense game. Valor can't afford to give up more goals and lose this game. Draws in Baker's feed. McKittle comes out with it. Bevan's going for the stretch pass. Baker intercepts it, breaks that play up, pushes Carnesi into the zone. Now Joey's going the other direction. He gets his pocket picked from behind him by Carnesi, sends it in. A little bit of fiddling around with the puck by a couple of kids. Finally spit out right into Hitzig. Saved by Jordan. Good play there. Hoyt kicks it back to himself, and he's going to regroup. Bounces off Hitzig. Now Baker fishes it out. No, that's Stanley. He gets out of there with the puck, and he's got 1-on-3. He's looking lazy, centering pass. Hoyt backhands it in. Shot. Oh, that shot was loose. Now it pops all the way back out. McKittle gently taps it down into the corner. Hoyt gives chase, winds all the way back around. Baker, good work by Joey there to work. Oh, he gets bodied off of that, but good work by Joey. Kicks out to the middle. There's McKittle. Shot goes up into the rafters off a sprawled out Connor Hitzig, sacrificing for the greater good. 4-4, 11:23 left. Purchase line out there now. Line had some good early success, but hasn't done much. Maybe they're due right now. Purchase wins the draw back to Bodine, kicks it over there down low. Sutter pass. Purchase in deep again, battling for it down in the corner, kicks all the way out to the top. There's King. King leaves it down the corner. Nobody is there. Positioning seems off on this one here. Now they're just playing chase here. They can't get it out. Bodine intercepts, winds around one, but he gets bodied off of that. Can't fish it out. Still stays with it, but now Vista comes out with it, kicks it out, send all the way back down in. Jordan's going to play it back behind the net. He backhands it over to Sutter, battles for it on the boards. Boys need to be hard winning the battles. Fished out by Sutter. No, got to be better with that pass. Lazy pass. It's the right idea, but got to be a little more forceful with that. Puck's intercepted. Here's King. Boys are caught in a change. King with some speed. Sends it all the way back down in. Too hard for that change there. I'm not so sure why you sent it in with so much authority. Whatever the case, 10:20 left, third period, tie game. Let's pull up some stats and see what kind of shots we're looking at. 25 shots for Valor and 14 for Mountain Vista. So they got right out of the gates with 4 goals on 10 shots, and they've been held pretty quiet since. O'Donnell back up top, sent it back down to the corner, didn't have an avenue. Good job to back that one off. Deep working back behind. Support from Canapari. That comes a little bit late. Now they're going back the other direction. Deep. Vista sends it out to O'Donnell. Back to Gogol. Gogol sends another one into the spectators' bench. He's done that a couple times. Needs to understand where the positioning is and dump that one in so the boys can give chase properly. Baker line back out there now. Oh no, that's the Charles boys are back out there now. That's sent down in, and that's an ice, and that's a good outcome there. We'll go back for an ozone faceoff. Ozone faceoff, 9:54 left, third period, 4-4. Holy cow, this is a tense game, and it's one that shouldn't be this tense, to be quite honest. Boys come out. There's Gabe working on the corner, fished out by Dawson. He's going to regroup, tries to spin it out. Gabe, good body. Dawson's going to chase that down. Maddox comes with some support. Puck underneath Dawson, I think. Maddox fishes it out. Looking for some help. Sends it all the way back behind. I'm not so sure about that one. Sent out. O'Donnell plays. He sends it back in. Offsides. The boys will have to touch up. 9:23 left. Puck bouncing around, banging, bodies falling. Vista comes out with it in their own zone. Stretch pass, tipped in, and they'll go for a change. One person on the forecheck. Gogo gets their bodies off that kid, gets some support from Fish. Uh-oh, puck, oh. And we'll have a stoppage. I think that's because a helmet came off of Gogol. I don't think there's any penalties there. His helmet came off, and so we'll get some new troops on the ice. 8:56 left. Baker line back out there working with Bevan and Sorensen. Kick back to Fish. Bevan tries to send it up to streaking Hoyt. Connects with Hoyt. Backhand way wide. Hoyt pays a price for that one. Stanley joins. Baker's down in the corner with it. Hoyt is injured. He's slow to get up. Oh, hopefully he's okay. He might have taken a stick to the neck, holding his throat. Maybe just caught something there. A little trouble breathing, but he is skating off on his own accord, so thinks everything's okay. Went into the boards hard, just blew a tire at that time. Face-offs out of the zone. That's a little unfortunate. 8:39 left, third period. Who's going to get the next goal? The go-ahead goal now. Gabe's working out there with the Charles brothers. Sent back around. Good pressure by Maddox. He gets there, winds around. He's given all kinds of time. Hard pass down low. I'm not so sure about that. Big, hard pass. Gabe gets taken down. Maddox has the puck again. Winds it back up to Stanley. Stanley back to Maddox. Down low to Gabe, to Maddox. Oh, save. Good play by the boys there. Maddox pushes that kid down. No, that's not a penalty. He's got to skate. That's good work by Maddox. Pushes that kid down. Vista comes out with it. Tries to, they do get behind. Oh, he forgets the puck. Good, fortunate play there. Maddox with some speed tries to go wide. Regroups, goes back to the middle. Shot saved by the goalie. And that would have been a good time for him to shovel that out to some of his troops. But it will be an ozone faceoff. 7:48 left. Purchase line back out there. This line's due. This line's due for something good to happen right here. Purchase pounds it up to himself. Tries working on. He gets tripped down. And now here goes Vista going the other direction. Some Eagles are back. Kid tries to pull up, blows a tire. Shot saved, stick to side by Jordan. No one's really aggressive getting to that puck except for the Vista kid centering pass. Good tie up by Bodine in front. Puck kicks all the way out. Sutter's on the chase now. 7:20 left in the game. Puck pulls out. Puck comes out. Oh, Bodine gets a stick on it. That goes wide. That could have been the equal. That could have been the go-ahead goal. There goes all the way back around. Sutter gets there. He shovels it back around, and nobody's there Perch is a little bit late to get there. Bodain's trying to get there too. He's late to get there too. Shoveled back out. Coffey's going to spin. The boys are caught in a change. Can King send it in? He chips it in off of off of Purchase. That doesn't make it in. Now it's sent all the way back down in by Vista. 6:45 left. King spins around, breaks the play up. Uh-oh. Danger's got to do something with it. Now just backhands it up into an icing. No, icing's called off. Bevan outskates it. Good work back there with Hoyt. Hoyt's working out with Bevan. Baker's posted up in the center. Little bit of a questionable play by Hoyt. Now here they're going the other direction as Carnesi gets pushed off it by O'Donnell. Good play. Donald avoids a body. Oh no, Coffey tried to pass it up. Pops back out, and here comes Bevan. They got 3 forwards. Bevan goes up the seam. So, we saw that happen last time. You've got to bring the puck into the zone. You can't hesitate coming through the neutral zone. The whole play is going into the zone. 6:05 left, third period, and that they're on the rush with some good speed. Fisher lines out there with the Charles brothers. O'Donnell and Gogol. This game's tense and is getting tense. 6 minutes left in the game. 4-4 tie. Back to Gogol. O'Donnell, trying to get it to Maddox. Everyone's always trying to get it to Maddox. Send it into the zone. Maddox winds it back to O'Donnell. O'Donnell dumps it to Fish. He dumped it down in the zone. Maddox gets there. Puck drop, pops out. Weird bounce, kept in by Fisher. Good work to catch it in. Kid falls down. Oh no, draws a tripping penalty. Does Vista. Shot, puck's loose, and that will be a power play for Vista. Tripping call on Fisher. Probably unnecessary too. Puck was a little loose in the neutral zone, so Fish goes into the box. 5:32 left, and now the Valor boys will have to counteract this power play, which is actually really good by Vista. Draws one back. There's McKiddo. He turns. Oh my goodness, he can't get it out. Draws one back. They set up the umbrella. Vista Hitzig works the line. Shot, low shot, looking for the deflection. Vista still has it set up. Now they're going to wind it back up top to Hitzig. Hitzig out wide. Survey looking for Carnesi. They are. Hitzig runs it. Finally gets it over Carnesi. Good work. Maddox has had enough of that, so he says, there you go, eat that, Carnesi. Sent all the way back down. And we'll get a couple of new penalty killers on the ice. Baker's out there now. He's working with Bevan. With some speed, Vista comes through the neutral zone, leaves it back there for Carnesi, who's going to take his time getting into the zone. Bevan goes for the poke. Good poke there by Stanley. Carnesi winds through the back, gets around one. Shot, tries to square it up, sends it in the boards. 1 minute left. And Vista is called for a hold. And that will even things up, and we'll play 4-on-4 for a minute, and then the boys will go on a power play for a minute. Hoyt and Maddox go out there. 4:33 left in the game. 4-on-4 hockey for a minute one. This is tense. Good thing it's a regular season game and not the state final. I'd be even more excited and nervous. As it is, you want to win this one. Puck's tied up by Maddox. Vista controls back behind their own net. Left back behind Maddox. Good hard work, bodying. Working hard. Good puck play there by Maddox. Good, so strong on the puck there. Ties it up. Hoyt's down there working with them. They got to fish this one out, or the other Vista's going to have some numbers going the other direction. Puck's tied up still. Working down the corner, burning up time. 30 seconds left. Hoyt comes out with it. Now it comes out, but Maddox, another good stick play there. Still working again. Maddox pops out with it. 20 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Left up top for O'Donnell. Shot saved. Goalie. No screen there, and that's that aerial shot. You want that lower shot. We see it all the time. Now we'll see, looks like Sutter out there with Baker, McKiddo, and Stanley. 15 seconds left, and looks like that's part of the PP2 unit. Draws one back. Stanley sends it down into the corner. 10 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. Baker didn't know where the puck was, and now here's Vista going the other direction. They skid it. Oh, just get it past McKiddo. No one's playing that very aggressively. Goodness gracious, gets outraced to the puck. Puck's out and his glove down. Maybe not a bad play there. So 53 seconds left on the penalty now, and the boys will be on the full 5-on-4 with the power play unit out there. Failed to score last time, so we'll see how it works out for him this time. 53 seconds left in the power play. 3:26 left in the. Draws one back. There's Maddox with some speed. Leaves it for Hoyt. He's got some speed coming through the neutral zone. He makes the zone. So he gets hauled down. And no trip call. Sticks in his skates. Fished out by Dawson. Dawson's going to set it up. Down low to Hoyt. Hoyt getting set. Bodine can't outmuscle that. That's two questionable plays. 20 seconds left. Mattis can't organize it. Now Bodine's going to leave it back to Hoyt. Maybe one last rush. 13 seconds. Maddox with some speed. Can he make the zone? He's going to go wide. Does make the zone. Ay, 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 ay. We've talked about that multiple times. Not bringing it into the zone, going wide. When the play's going into the zone, you've got to bring the puck into the zone. Sutter lines out there, 2:38 left, third period. They'll play 5-on-4 for a couple of seconds. Draws one back. They got to set it in. Gogol winds it over to O'Donnell. O'Donnell sends it in. The boys are on the chase. Left back behind by the goalie. Good work there by Sutter to tie him up. Puck is fished out. And now here comes Vista. Here's Carnesi with some space. Gets around one. Shuts a shot off. Good play. Puck is still loose. Deflected a couple of times. Now you got to pass that. Takes forever on the pass up to Bodine, and he's going to spin it in. Boys will spin off for a change. 2 minutes left in the third period. Get the Baker line on now. Good stick by Baker to break that up. Bevan's working hard. Puck pops out to Vista. Carnesi's still out there. Can't get by McKiddo. Good work by McKiddo. Drop pass to nobody. Bevan's looking for someone to pass to and chips it off the ref, and it stays in the zone. Pops back out to Stanley. Stanley up to Hoyt. Hoyt leaves it for Joey. Here comes Baker. He's got Bevan with him. Bevan, shot. Oh, Baker was right there on the doorstep. Couldn't get his stick down. It was tied up. Pretty good play. Puck stays in. Stanley keeps it in. Puck goes off. A bad deflection off of Hitzig. 1:18 left in the third period. Puck goes. Oh, nobody's aggressive on that puck. Mountain Vista makes the. Winds around, shot gloved down. The fans are hooting and hollering, and that one was 2 feet over the net. Holy cow, that was a good sequence. 1:06 left in the third period. Bevan had the puck there with a good shot on goal, and it was a pretty good low shot. Bounced right to Joey, but his stick was tied up pretty hard to make. Another shot off the ref. They just O'Donnell gets it up to Dawson, leaves it for Maddox. Should have sent it over back to Dawson. Score! What a sequence there! Maddox cross ice to Gabe. sees Dawson, who breaks for it. He's left wide open on the back door, and there's the go-ahead goal with 53 seconds left in the game. Timeout called by Mountain Vista, and that's the best puck movement we've seen all game, and it came at finally the right time. Dawson makes the zone, leaves it for Maddox. While that was happening, Dawson kept going towards the net. Maddox feeds Gabe, and then there's Dawson wide open on that back door for the game, for the go-ahead goal. 53 seconds left. Wow. So holy moly, after Valor looked like they were a U14 rec team in that first period and gave up 4 goals, really good shutting down some of these great players on this Vista team. And Dawson with a sweet goal that I can't wait to watch the replay on. And that's one where you wish that we had the replay cams and the goal cams. But watching that play develop from up here was fun to watch. Each kid picked the right person to pass to, tic-tac passing, no selfishness there, and that final pass by Gabe over there to Dawson was so sweet. Now the boys need to hold it for 53 seconds. 5-4. The goalie will be coming out. It's just a question of when. Draws one back to Gogol. O'Donnell, Gogol. Pass. Dawson makes the zone, sends it down into the corner. Good pressure there, but now here Vista's going to pull the goalie. No, they can't yet. They don't have control. Dumped right back in by O'Donnell, 33 seconds, and that will be an icing, and that is not what you want to see there. 31 seconds, you assume, yep. The extra skater comes out. I've got nightmares of the Ralston Valley game from last Friday on my brain, but thinking positive thoughts, and I don't think that's going to happen here. 31 seconds left, and it should be a healthy dose of Mountain Vista. See if they can move the puck well. Sent back down into the corner. O'Donnell chips it up. The boys still working. O'Donnell does get it out. Finally chipped out by Gabe. And that will be another icing. 19 seconds left on the clock. So Vista unable to control the draw there. Another couple face-off wins is what the boys need here. We'll try this one again. Fisher in the face-off circle against Carnesi. Good play there by Dawson to try and get it out versus trying to send it down, but here they're organized. Hits it, can't get it teed up. A little bit of help from the ref. 8 seconds left. Shot goes wide. 6 seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Can't get it teed up. 1 second. There's the game, and holy moly, that was a nail biter. And as it was, what a game to watch, to be a spectator, and was absolutely on the right side of that one. So after giving up 4 goals in the beginning and looking like they were not interested in the win at all, they come out victorious with a 5-4 win. Final shots are 29-20. So all in all, turns out to be a win in the win column, of course. And just like that, the game is over. They'll go through the handshake line. Still a little stunned on what I saw in that first period, but turns out to be a nice game. It's a win for Valor. And now the boys, it's a good way to go on to break. You certainly wouldn't have wanted to go into break after a loss like that. So now we'll see JV play against, I think it's Vista as well, on the same ice. We'll sign off here. Thanks again to John Baker on the video. And we got the score right by the end of the game at least. Signing off from South Suburban.